Here we go again. It's that time of year. The gyms are full, the planners are fresh, the vision boards are creatively representing all of the things that you're excited about changing and accomplishing this new year. It's New Year's season again, and it comes with that internal mix of both excitement and frustration. Excitement because this is the year that we're going to finally follow through, and frustration because we've said that before. I'm Dr. Denim Slade, and during my 30 years of experience, I've gathered enough data to create the most insanely accurate, not just personality, but temperament system out there that is going to make all the difference in your New Year's resolutions this year. The new C.O.R.E personality model helps you authentically incorporate you into both your life and your relationships. And it could never be more important to understand than right now as the new year is starting. Look, if you've tried to figure out why you start strong and then lose steam, or why you can't seem to get traction like everyone else does, or if you've really tried to figure out why you feel so stuck when you're trying so hard, well, let me tell you, the problem is not just that you haven't wanted it bad enough in years past, but that this year you really do. It's not your motivation. It's not your willpower. It's not even your goals. The problem is that you're probably working against how your brain is wired. The key to having things be different this year is that in the past, you've probably been working against how your brain is wired. The key to having this year be different is understanding that in years past, you've probably been working against how your brain is wired instead of working with how your brain naturally functions and how your brain is wired. For years, we've been sold this one-size-fits-all formula for change. We've been told to just set SMART goals, get an accountability buddy, track your progress, hustle more, hustle harder. But the truth is that change is much more nuanced than that. And when you're looking to people that are getting the expert advice that they're passing on and selling to you from ChatGPT or Googling what to tell you, you don't get the unique and individualized advice and help that your complex brain needs in order to be able to succeed. Now, that doesn't mean that the SMART goals, accountability buddies, and all of that other stuff doesn't work, because they do. In fact, they work really well for some people, but they're not the answer for everyone, and they may not be the keys to your success. That's because each and every one of us has a different C.O.R.E temperament. Temperament is the unchangeable part of your personality that determines what you need to maintain motivation past January. Temperament has literally been studied for decades and decades, and it shapes how we approach change, habits, and follow through. So if you don't know and understand your C.O.R.E temperament, odds are really good that you're building your life around strategies that were never designed for your brain. Let me show you what I mean by this. The first temperament is the C temperament. C stands for comfort and connection. The C is also referred to as the feeler. If you're a C, comfort and connection are everything to your brain. You're thoughtful, intentional, and deeply aware of the emotional undercurrent around you. And when things feel emotionally unsettled, you freeze, you spiral, you stay stuck. You'll end up avoiding goals or being able to stick to them if you think that they might create tension or discomfort, even if they're good for you. So for you, you don't need louder goals. You need emotionally safe environments that invite you forward. You need to make your goals feel comforting. Use routines. Build support systems. Lean into predictability. Instead of trying to force yourself to hustle, you've got to give yourself permission to create goals and systems that flow well and work with momentum instead of trying to be disruptive in your life and relationships. The second of the four C.O.R.E temperaments is the O. O stands for optimism, and O's are also referred to as idealists. If you're an O, you're really good at bringing energy, fun, and optimism into the room. You start fast. You inspire people. You're the visionary. But follow through? That's the struggle for the O. When the spark fades, your motivation tends to fade also. O's love figuring things out and get super excited about what could be. So at the start of the year, It's easy for O's to set lots of really great goals and to get themselves and others pumped about the new year. However, at the same time, O's struggle with maintaining momentum. O's tend to get bored after the initial excitement fades and all of the tedious hassle of the daily details set in. It's not at all uncommon for O's to have stacks of half-read books, half-completed projects, and garages or closets full of materials of cool things that they were initially super excited about. And New Year's goals are no different. So if you're an O, you need short feedback loops. You need visible progress, and ideally, you need enjoyable people to involve in your change. Make goals social, energizing, and full of small wins. And don't overthink the systems. Just make the next step easy and exciting. Also, it's important to forgive yourself when it gets messy. Your strength is starting things. Build support to help you stay with them. The third core temperament is the R. R stands for resolution, and R's are also called doers. R's are fantastic at blowing through obstacles and getting things done, if they can keep things on their radar. Once something gets the attention of the R, when something undone gets on the radar screen, the R brain is driven to address it and check it off the list. R's live for movement and results. So if you're an R, you want things done now. You probably have a long list of goals, and you're probably already frustrated that they're not finished yesterday. At the same time, R's can get overwhelmed when their pace is blocked by details or emotions or what feels like unnecessary hassle or people who don't move as fast as you want them to. You thrive on simple clarity and momentum. So keep your goals visible, actionable, measurable, with a simple system to keep you organized. And as an R, it's super important that you direct the things that you work on and not just give your attention to and chase whatever is screaming the loudest at you in the moment. You have great stamina, but the R energy is like an engine revving at about 7,000 RPMs, and you can't maintain that pace indefinitely without burning up the engine, or at least relationships in the process. So make sure that your intensity isn't pushing people away. Keep in mind that traction without connection doesn't last. The final core temperament is the E. E stands for exactness and excellence. E's are also referred to as the perfecter. E's are wired for excellence. If you're an E, you don't want it done fast, you want it done right. E's are thoughtful, methodical, and driven to improve everything they touch. E's love researching and figuring out the best way to do something. So at the beginning of the year, E's tend to not only love getting into the nitty-gritty details of their goals, but also the perfect planning system or vision board to perfectly track them. But one of the biggest pitfalls for E's is that if they don't know how to do it perfectly from day one, they stall. If you're an E, you'll want to wait until conditions are just right. And sometimes that just right day never comes. Perfection paralysis is super real for E's. So it's imperative that you focus on process over perfection. Set tiny, specific goals with clear starting points and give yourself permission to start a little messy and refine later. E's don't naturally share with people what's going on inside of them, so they don't usually share what their goals are or what they're working on. It's usually very much an internal and private things for E's. So if you'll share what you're working on with somebody that you trust, it'll help you actually move before you feel ready to. Here's the big takeaway that I would like you to get from this video. If you're frustrated because your goals keep falling apart, don't just give up and roll over. It's not because you're unable to accomplish your goals. You've probably just been trying to build habits with tools and systems that were not designed or developed with how your brain works in mind. You've likely been trying to fit into a box that everyone says is the way to do it, the way to be successful. But unless you just happen to get lucky, it's not going to work. So instead of trying to become someone different this year, what if you double down on understanding who you already are? New year, new you does not mean becoming someone else. It means removing what's not you and working with the incredible design already inside you. The part of you that doesn't need overhauled or changed. It just needs to be recognized and invited to the planning meeting. So before you plan your next 90-day sprint, pause. Take the free core assessment at whatsmycore.com. discover your real wiring, learn how you best succeed, and how to finally stop sabotaging your own momentum. Let's make this year the year that you stop trying to fix yourself and start trusting how you're already wired for success. New year, same you. Just finally working with yourself, not against it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to learn more about these things.